Hey there, this is Jackson with Graphic Game Plan. I'm going to be showing you the essential tools that I use in Photoshop every day. These are mask, clipping mask, color overlay, and blend modes. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to show you is a clipping mask. I use these all the time. It is not to be confused with a regular mask. The clipping mask makes it to where you can have a layer above another layer and just have that content show in the bounds of the layer that's below it. So let me show that here on the screen. I added a layer above my text here that says graphic. I'm going to right click and you can click create clipping mask. You can see here the keybind for Mac is Option Command G. So if I do Option Command G, we get this little arrow here next to the thumbnail. So the little arrow is telling us that the content that is above graphic is now just going to clip into it. So let's see what happens whenever I draw above it. You can see that as I draw here, whatever I'm drawing with my brush is only clipping into the word graphic. So if I were to release this mask, I can do Option Command G again. You can see that I just have this brush stroke, but as soon as it gets clipped into the text, it's only being shown in the text. This is super helpful in graphics whenever you just want to clip something into text, but it doesn't just have to do with text. You can clip things into player cutouts, you can clip things into other layers, you can clip brushes into brushes. All right, super simple, right? So that's the clipping mask. Next, I want to show you guys color overlay. As an athletics designer, this is super helpful for changing the colors on logos and different elements of my graphics. So here we can see that I have my Graphic Game Plan logo. If I wanted it on a graphic that was this dark in the background, I completely lose contrast. You can't see the black against the dark blue. This is not an editable item that I have, it's just a PNG of my logo. So what can I do? If I go down here to FX, this FX button has a lot of different options. Drop shadow is something that's really popular, of course, but color overlay is going to allow us to change the color of my logo. If I select white, hit OK, I can fully change it to white. All right, that was super easy. FX, color overlay, you just select your color here, and you can select it from the color window. And then if I ever want to change it, I now have this little effects option under my logo layer called color overlay. I can double click on it and just change it from there. You can do this with any color, of course. It's just going to change everything in that layer to that color. Next, I'm going to cover masking. So masking allows you to put a mask on a layer. I'll show you here. It's just this button down here with the circle in it. And this adds a layer next to our layer. This is our mask. Whenever things are white on the mask, they're going to appear with full opacity. If I were to paint with a brush by hitting B on my keyboard, or by going over here and using the brush tool, I can paint with black to erase items. So you might think to yourself, why wouldn't I just use the eraser tool? Well, whenever you use a mask and you use an eraser on the mask, you can bring your layers back. So this is an important lesson in Photoshop. Rather than being destructive and destroying something and never being able to undo it, let's say your client asks, I'd rather it's the other way. Well, there's no way to get that back now. So whenever you use a mask, it's a non-destructive way of erasing something, and it's especially useful for player cutouts in athletics. So just real quick again, it's the mask button down here. That's going to add a mask. And then you can paint with a black brush. Anything black on the mask is going to erase. You can even hit G to go to your gradient tool, or it's over here on the left. And if you use a gradient on this mask, it'll do the same thing. The black will erase, and the white will keep it there. Super, super helpful. Last but certainly not least of these basics is going to be blend modes. I use these a lot whenever I'm trying to render like my final version of a Photoshop file. I'll have light clipping in from the sides, maybe like some branches coming in, and I'll use these blending modes to really blend the colors so that everything looks like it's a part of the same thing. So for instance, I have this asset here that is this big light shaft, but it has this big black background around it. And if I were to hit remove background, it's not going to do a fantastic job to really get that light to what I want it to look like. So I'm going to undo that with Command Z, and instead I'm going to go up here where it says normal. We're currently on the normal blend mode, and I can bring this down to screen, color dodge, linear dodge. These are really going to help take that black out of the background, but really keep the light flare. So now you can see I have this beautiful light flare, great transparency around it. I could insert this into any graphic and it would easily blend with the layers in the background without having that large black background behind it. And those are the basics. I know that there's a lot of interesting tools in Photoshop and there's a lot that you can do, but I really just end up falling back on these 4 because there's a lot of different things you can create, especially when you combine them. Like imagine you color overlay something and then you can mask it into something else and clipping mask that into something else with the blend modes. So a lot of different combinations you can use here. I hope you guys learned something from this, and thanks for watching.